Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. A demonstration organized by the Democratic Women's Movement of Benalmádena paraded on Tuesday through the streets of Arroyo de la Miel to demand women's rights, asking for equality on occasion of the International Women's Day.
Last Tuesday morning, our citizens took the streets for a demonstration organized by the Democratic Women's Movement of Benalmádena that paraded through the main streets of Arroyo de la Miel to reivindicate equal rights on occasion of the International Women's Day. The mayor of Benalmádena and Equality Councilman Víctor Navas participated in the demonstration along with other members of the government team such as María Isabel Ruiz, Encarnación Cortés, Irene Díaz and Pablo Centella, among others, in addition to a wide representation of associations and groups of the municipality. Navas highlighted that there is still a lot of work to be done to achieve effective equality.
March 8
is a day to claim the effective and real equality between men and women, regardless of any kind of ideology. It is one of the basic principles of any modern society. There is no real and effective equality between men and women. The wage gap still exists. Women still feel fear and insecurity when walking alone at night in certain areas. Many cannot raise their voices in their work environment for fear of losing their jobs, and many continue to have bad experiences simply because they are women. Díaz explained that they were looking forward to protest on the streets again after the pandemic. We return to claim equality between men and women. March 8 is more alive than ever in Benalmádena because we have to keep fighting and demanding a real and effective equality between men and women. This year with more strength than ever after 2 years of pandemic in which the mobilization had to be replaced by a small performance, this 2022 there is much to claim. We are the voices of those who cannot raise it, and this year we can also take to the streets for Afghan, Syrian and Ukrainian women, as there are currently 80 wars in the world and we have to give them voice and visibility. Centella stressed the importance of fighting the forces that question these issues. This claim is not ideological. It is a guarantee of progress and of a society that advances, and therefore it is very difficult to understand that there are social and political straits that have been questioning the laws on gender and equality and social scourge such as male violence when before they arose an absolute consensus in society. That very same evening, a kilometer-long purple tide of more than 5,000 people managed to stay united throughout the entire route of the 8M demonstration in Málaga. Mostly women, but also many men and children, composed a huge herd that was accompanied by several batucadas and the feminist chants.
Benalmádena's Alzheimer Association, known as AFAB, keeps working to achieve the construction of a new day care center, and last week they visited their colleague association in Fuengirola to keep promoting their demands.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, and third-age councilwoman Irene Díaz, along with the president of the Association of Relatives of Alzheimer's Patients and Other Dementias in Benalmádena, Maricruz Azuaga, visited last week the day center of their colleague association from Fuengirola. We wanted to accompany AFAB in the visit of this center, which offers comprehensive assistance to people suffering from diseases such as Alzheimer's, and whose formula we would like to transfer to the regional center that we want to create in Benalmádena to serve people suffering from this disease and their families. This center was funded by the Junta de Andalucía and the Provincial Council of Málaga after the transfer of the land by the City Council of Fuengirola, in addition to the collaboration of financial institutions such as La Caixa and the constant work of AFAB. In Benalmádena, we intend to follow the same path. As City Council, we already made the land available to AFAB, and now we are claiming their involvement to the Provincial Council of Málaga and Junta de Andalucía. Navas highlighted the municipal grants that AFAP receives, explaining that now is time for Junta to act as they have the competencies. The City Council has granted each year a subsidy to help defray the cost of renting the premises in which AFAP currently develops its activity. But we understand that the association needs a definitive facilities in property which would help them to expand their activity. For this, it is important that Junta, which holds the powers in health and dependence, is involved in the implementation of a care center in Benalmádena, as well as the Diputación de Málaga, as they did in this center in Fuengirola. The mayor will participate from the Tribune of Mayors in the next plenary session of the Provincial Council, where he is going to claim the support of all political forces so that the final construction of the Center of Alzheimer's Care and Other Dementias in Benalmádena is a reality as soon as possible. Azuaga expressed her wish to count soon with the new facilities in our municipality. Today, we visit the day center to learn about its operation and encourage us to take that giant step we need to create a facility of similar characteristics in Benalmádena. We hope that soon Benalmádena can finally have a center of similar characteristics. AFAP's president, Paqui Lebrón, explained during the visit that the center has been operating since 2014 and currently all its services are fully covered. We provide coverage to about 60 users. In addition to day center, we have respite or resident beds, gym and function room. It was a slow process, but gradually the facilities were equipped with aid from all institutions, from the Junta to the City Council.
A new group of the Benemplea Incluye project received their professionalism certificates last week from the Mayor Víctor Navas at the closing ceremony organized by the Employment Delegation at the Ovoide building.
The Mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, and Employment Councilman Joaquín Villazón informed last week on the results obtained from the actions plan in the APPOEF project number 8, Benemplea Incluye, co-financed by the City Council and the European Social Fund. The mayor and the councilman precede the closing ceremony of the project, which began its journey in June 2019 and for 32 months has provided vocational training leading to certificates of professionalism and labor orientation to people with special difficulties in accessing employment, with the ultimate goal of improving their employability and facilitating their labor market insertion.
De algo más de 1 millón de euros y que ha permitido 12 itinerarios.
In total, there have been 12 itineraries that have trained 167 people in highly demanded occupations in our town and neighboring municipalities. I want to highlight in this process of professional training the importance of disinterested collaboration of companies in our environment, which have collaborated in the delivery of the internship module of each itinerary. The result obtained would not have been possible without the professionalism and excellence of the teaching team. The collaboration of this business, the attitude toward learning of job search of the participants, and the commitment of the technical team with the objective of the project. This program is aimed at local entities for the insertion of the most vulnerable people. Specifically, the program has trained 27 people as bar and cafeteria waiters, 29 as shop assistants, 27 as housekeepers, 41 as gardening assistants, 30 as building cleaning operators, and 13 as caregivers of dependent people in institutions. The age range of the people trained goes from 17 to 65 years old. For many of them, this has been their first professional training, while for others, participation in this project has meant a professional reinvention in occupations that allow them to reintegrate into the labor market.
Creo que es muy importante.
The experience of the practices is always a great way of learning for our students, both at a technical and human level, and in many cases opens door to employment. In total, there have been 48 companies that have been part of this project, and from here, again, we thank them. Last but not least, it is important to highlight that in addition to the training and job orientation that the participants have received, the technical team of the project has carried out an important labor intermediation work that, to date, offers the figure of more than 65% of job placement of the people trained, a figure that we are sure will only increase as the economy is definitely reactivated after overcoming the crisis by the COVID-19. A success story that reinforced the task carried out by City Hall in the field of training and employment that Benalforma has been carrying out for almost 30 years.
The youth delegation presented last week the new co-working space at the Innova building that counts with 15 workstations that can be reserved from a period of 1 day to a full month.
Youth Councilwoman Marisabel Ruiz and Youth Technician Blas Correal present last week a new co-working space located at the Innova building house. We present a project with which we rethink the use of one of the spaces of the Innova. In the Innova building, we have one of the most cutting-edge business incubator on the Costa del Sol, and we have given a twist to its operation. If before it was a nursery more to use where we request the occupation of a space for a period of 2 years, now we incorporate a new co-working space because it is much better suited to the mode of teleworking that has been imposed as a result of the pandemic. The councilwoman explained that there will be 15 workstations available from 1 day to a month depending on the needs of the tenant. The space offers a total of 15 workstations which can be requested from a period of 1 day to a full month and, if there is availability, may request an additional month of occupation. In addition to a workspace with a privileged location, it also counts with 2 meeting rooms available. I want to thank the technical work developed to create the new rules for access to co-working space and the internal application for the management of occupations. Correal highlighted the goal behind the use change of the space. The goal of this change is to lighten both the access to the space and its use. Instead of being so rigid in the requirements demanded to enter, we have lowered them, making the reservation periods shorter. Interested entrepreneurs will only be asked for their accreditation and an annex in which they must reflect the business project to be developed, in addition to presenting whether they are registered as self-employed or are in the process, also with a support of CADE throughout the registration procedure. For its implementation, an application form has been created, which will be available through the electronic headquarters and can already be requested presentially at the Innova building itself or through the youth delegation email.
The libraries in our municipality update and improve their websites to enhance their relationship with their users through the internet. The new platform is very functional and interactive, with an user-friendly design.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella held a press conference last week to inform on the creation of new websites for the 2 municipal libraries of Benalmádena. City Hall present this new web page with the aim of improving their relationship through the internet with their users. In the new policy that we have been developing in recent years, we have placed public libraries at the forefront of cultural action for its value and its character of generating centers of cultural dynamics. The municipal libraries of Benalmádena, both Arroyo de la Miel and Manuel Alto Laguirre in Benalmádena Pueblo, wanted to go a step further in the implementation of new technologies in the daily work to approach a wider and more diverse public in a more agile and easy way. We have reached an agreement with the Ministry of Culture to improve and update the libraries' websites and thus incorporate them into the circuit of state library networks. The library assistant, Vanessa Perez, explained that the new library websites are already accessible through City Council's webpage. For its development has been used the content manager of the Ministry of Culture, and more than 45 Andalusian libraries participate in this project. It is a very functional and interactive website with a user-friendly design and in line with new trends, with which we not only intend to provide greater dissemination of our services and activities, but also that all users can participate by collaborating in the development of content and thus improve our services. The website is structured in 5 main blocks. In About Us, there is information about the 2 libraries with a brief story, the sections and the library staff. Through Services, you can find out how to get a reading card, request a book from another library, or make a request for the acquisition of documents, among other things. The library's agenda can be consulted in the Activities tab with the option to sign up for them. You also have a library-related news section. With this new website, the Arroyo de la Miel and Manuel Altolaguirre libraries add one more way to connect with the people of Benalmádena.
And these are today's headlines. Benalmádena March for Women's Rights. AFAP visits the facilities of an Alzheimer's center in Fuengirola. Training and employment with Benalforma. The Innova building habilitates a co-working space. New website for the municipal libraries. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with slightly cloudy skies with intervals of medium and high clouds in the afternoon, mist and morning fog in the interior, temperatures unchanged in the interior, minimum temperatures in decline on the west coast and rising in the east, and maximum temperatures rising along the coast. Winds from the west more intense on the coast. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.